Hello and welcome to the OSNAP podcast, hosted by yours truly. For anyone new here, my name is Vincent.
And I'm Reese, and today we are going to talk about photographers and videographers' biggest fears.
Dun dun dun.
This sounds intense.
But first, we are going to talk about our weekend. Sorry, there is a hair on my microphone. We're going to talk about our weekend. And starting with that, we celebrated Dad's birthday. We have a clip, or a couple clips we'd like to show you right now. All right, so obviously you guys saw that we did a good amount of stuff. We went to a couple Halloween stores. We went through a Halloween
It's a museum.
like walkthrough kind of thing, which is pretty cool. And they change it out periodically throughout the year, which is cool.
This was all a surprise to Dad.
He didn't know until we got probably about half a mile away, and then he knew exactly where we were going because he likes to go on YouTube and watch all these places.
So, but it's okay because he was actually excited for it, and he had wanted to go to these places, so I think it was better anyway.
Yeah.
But it was so much fun. Very busy day. I was exhausted when we got home.
Yeah, we drove all the way to
Burbank.
And we were trying to go to this coffee shop beforehand, but they didn't open until 5 o'clock. Who gets coffee at 5 o'clock? I have questions I'd like to ask you.
Well, they were having a special event. So then we did actually come back at 5 o'clock, but it was
Yeah, the line is way too big.
busy. And it was next door to this fish place, and it reeked like fish, and I just could not do it.
And then we also took him out to Outback.
Our family's favorite.
Yes. So,
So we got steaks, and it was just a good day.
so a very happy birthday to you.
Our number one listener.
There you go. And then Sunday, we shot a wedding at a winery over in Temecula. Yes. It was a smaller wedding. It was about 20 people total.
We also did videography only.
Yeah.
So it's
So
super
Reese was a videographer for the day. How about that?
fun. I was Vincent's assistant.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. It was really hot. But that's what happens with summer weddings.
Yeah.
But it was overall a very good day. Didn't have any mishaps.
Super relaxing. It was a little hot about half. Oh, before I talk about that, we have some clips we'd like to share of that right now. So you can see that it was a very beautiful wedding, and
Our bride and groom are incredible.
They were awesome. And when we were doing couples photos, it was hot, and we had to walk around a decent amount. And halfway through it, we were gonna walk up to this house, which looked really beautiful, but it was kind of a distance away. And so I just asked the bride and the groom. I said, "You guys just want to get in our car and we could drive up there?" So it was the first time ever that while on the job, we had a bride and the groom, and then another photographer in our back seat. And I
was thinking about it, and the only other time we've ever had a bride in our car is your sister.
Yeah.
Because we drove her to her wedding.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've never had clients in our car.
No, but it was a beautiful day, beautiful wedding, and
it was 4 hours, so pretty quick and painless day for us. But we're excited to edit that.
Yeah.
And when I say we, I mean Vincent.
So that was our weekend.
Yes.
Now.
Well, and then yesterday we celebrated Dad's actual birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Monday
we did.
This comes out on Wednesday. Yeah.
Now we're going to get into photographer and videographer's biggest fears.
This is going to be fun.
Number one, we're starting out We're starting off with a bang. Fear of equipment failure. Cameras, lens, and other equipment are essential tools. Sorry.
It's okay.
And photographers often fear their gear failing during a critical moment, such as one in a lifetime shot or an important client session.
I think we've touched.
You start out with that. I gotta get some water.
Okay, I think we've touched on this before, where I had an SD card malfunction at a wedding. Honestly, probably the most terrifying thing that's ever happened to us during a wedding. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like the fear of equipment failure because that's really nothing that you can control. When it comes to with cameras, lenses, things like that, if it fails, it fails. There's nothing you can do. The SD card mishap, completely my fault. I will admit to that. But sometimes there's not a lot you can do. What would you like to add on that, Vincent?
I would just say when it comes to cameras, if your camera fails, really your camera should never fail at all. The only time I can ever see it messing up is in extreme heat.
Oh yeah, that happened to us too.
In extreme heat, if you got water on it, someone splashed water, or it fell in water, or if it fell. But after those two things, it falling or water, it's important before you shoot another wedding to make sure that you go and get the camera checked out. It's always important to make sure that the camera and the lens are clean.
I'm so sorry. We have to stop.
Why?
Our venue for this weekend is calling.
Ooh, okay. Come on over. Maybe you get to see it.
Hello, this is Reese and Vincent.
Well, it depends. We were just wondering about the lighting situation inside of the...
Can we come maybe around, would you say noon?
Can we do about maybe 11 o'clock?
Welcome. You have a great day.
You as well.
And that's what we deal with 24 hours a day, 364 days a year is people call. And obviously we have to answer. We talked about it last episode where we constantly have to make sure that our phones are charged and everything so that if clients do reach out, or in this case, the venue reaches out, then we can answer the phone and answer any questions.
Desiree.
Desiree was her name.
I was thinking maybe it was Monica.
No. Really.
Okay, perfect. So sorry about that, everybody. We mostly, we love to ignore people's phone calls when we're doing the podcast, but I saw the name on the phone and I was like, we should probably get this one. So, a day in the life.
What I was talking about was that it's just important to make sure that you clean your gear periodically. If you see anything weird going on with your camera, make sure that you do get it taken care of before you shoot a major event, like an engagement session, a quince, or a wedding.
Touching base on that one, though, we actually have had, me specifically, we had a wedding in, I think it was 105-degree heat, all outdoors, no shade, no trees.
Direct sunlight.
Correct. And in the middle of the ceremony, thankfully it was me and it wasn't Vincent because I am his second shooter for videography only. My camera just decided to turn off. Was it the camera or was it the stabilizer? I'm so sorry. The camera was fine. The stabilizer, which is what we use to make sure everything's stable, decided to just turn off completely, and I could not get it to turn back on. And there's no other explanation other than the heat for that because it's never done it before and it's never done it again.
We actually, because my camera has an overheating issue, and not an overheating issue, it's just the make of the model and stuff in extreme temperatures.
Yeah.
And so the way that we mitigate failure with our equipment is by researching. We researched and we found this. This is just a little fan that connects directly to the back of the camera and it cools it down. Have had zero problems with overheating ever since.
I think it's really good that you show something like that, though, because it does show there are ways to combat failures. If you can get ahead of them, then why not do everything that you can? Yeah. That fan has helped Vincent a lot. We also bought another fan too. That's actually
using the current camera that we're shooting on because the current camera that we're shooting on is right underneath
the big light.
It's a big studio light and it gets hot over there, so it has had problems overheating. So we got another fan for that one, have had zero problems with
Yeah.
overheating. But it's just important to make sure that if you do notice an issue with a camera, to get it figured out beforehand. The thing with the SD cards, make sure you treat your SD cards with respect. We use MacBooks here, and if it's on our computer for a long time, like if it's plugged in and we try to eject it, sometimes it doesn't want to eject and it says that it's using something even though it's not. And you never want to force eject anything. And so we have to restart the computer and stuff, but we always respect our SD cards. We make sure that they're completely good to go and that they are formatted that day for the shoot.
Wait, can we say what happened to us this week?
So bad.
Okay, so we were both editing a wedding that we're currently working on. We will not name which one. And we have our Owala water bottles. Go ahead and show.
All right. This is the culprit right here. This is an Owala. This is the best water bottle money can buy. It's inexpensive and it's effective. Better than the Stanley's leak.
This one does not.
is designed to not leak. Look at that. No leak. A
Unless-
Stanley all over the floor. Shoes are ruined right now.
Unless the owner of the Owala forgets to close said Owala. So Vincent was taking sips out of it and then just putting it back on his desk without locking it shut. And
Which I never do. It like never happens.
no, it was the first time I've ever seen it opened. And I was working on a wedding and I had the SD card holder and the SD card inside of the camera or inside of the computer. He was opposite of me on his desk and he was reaching for something. I don't even know what you were doing. He was doing something.
I was trying to like.
Oh,
I
he
was
was trying to put his
I was trying to
watch
plug my
on the
watch in.
charger.
Yeah.
And he knocked over his Owala and it spilled all over my
You just hear,
desk.
"Goop, goop, goop."
So we pick it up. We think at first everything is okay, like we're getting all the water. And then I look at my SD card holder and it is soaked. And I'm like,
Don't worry. Sprung into action.
it was.
Instantly
it was
got
okay.
a towel right away.
But then I wiped off the SD card holder and I was like, okay, I got all the water off. He goes, well, just to be safe, take it off the computer. I take it off. I take the SD card out and it's dripping.
Yeah. So we have a little lens blower thing. You squeeze it and it's supposed to get all the dust and stuff out. It's also really effective for water too. So what I did with the SD card readers, I put it upside down and started squeezing the air into it. It was flushing all the air out. I also did that to the SD card and made sure it was 100% dry. Then I took the SD card reader, because we knew that we were going to have to use it again, into the bathroom and used a blow dryer on low, so it's only a little bit of heat, just to make sure all of the water evaporated.
That being said, all of what was on that SD card is already backed up.
Is 100% backed up on a waterproof, a drop-proof, and tough hard drive.
But that being said, seeing the water inside of it that's connected into my computer that we use for everything,
Yeah.
our two computers.
That's why it's so
That was
important,
scary.
though. That's another thing that we've learned along the ways. Like years ago when we first started, we never even thought about backing up all of our photos and stuff. But obviously we learn.
No, we got that Lacey pretty quick into our business.
Later down the line.
No.
But we didn't use it as much as we do now.
No.
It was every couple months we'd go on if we were running out of room on our computers, and then we'd back it up.
Also, that being said, though, before we ever shot our first wedding, we had a hard drive.
Yes. Because of how important a wedding is.
Yeah.
And so, but that's why it's truly important to make sure that you have different forms of the photos or video on different devices, so
Mhm.
that if there is a catastrophe, you're all right.
We were fine.
We were
Everything was fine,
A-okay.
but it was scary in the moment.
Yes.
So it just shows that like literally anything can happen. We will not be leaving our water bottles unlatched on the desk again.
Right. No. Never again.
No.
All right. Next one. You
Fear
ready?
of missing the shot. Whether it's a fleeting moment, the perfect light, or a rare subject, photographers often worry about missing the perfect shot. The fear is especially prevalent in fields like wildlife or event photography.
If you hire us for whatever event, it is next to impossible that we will miss the shot. Why, you may ask? Because there's two of us.
Mm.
We're a duo.
Mm.
Mm?
Yeah, but sometimes I do photo and you do video, so we're not getting the same thing. Does that make sense?
No.
No, because I can always use your video if I need to. We don't miss shots. I will say one thing though. I'm sorry, now I'm freaking out every time my phone goes off. Thought we're gonna miss like a call or something. I will say one thing though. Just gonna throw this out there. I've noticed it at the last couple of weddings that we've done. Not every wedding, but sporadically it has happened. We get family members that instead of wanting to enjoy the wedding, they want to shoot the wedding. And so on more than one occasion, I have had to go around a family member who was standing in the back where we usually go to get important shots like the first kiss or things like that. I've had to work my way around them to get where I need to be so that I don't miss a shot. And so that is really the only time I feel like I've ever felt like I was in a position to where I could possibly miss a shot. It wasn't because of really anything but friends or family that decide to get up and have a camera or their phone and try to get the same shot we're getting. But that's why it's in our contract.
We do really our best to make sure that we do get all of the most important shots of the big day.
We've never missed an important shot.
No, even when, so like if we work anything over 5 hours at an event, we'll take a break. Okay. And during that break, it's like one of the worst fears is hearing people applause because you're in a different room a lot of the times and you're like, what's going on? So you grab your camera equipment and you run back in, and it was just they took a kiss or they had a kiss or something.
This happened at the wedding this weekend. They were doing the toast sound, so we kept thinking that they were doing speeches, but really it was just them doing it for them to kiss.
Yeah. So we really, like, especially at weddings, we always make sure that we have a view of the bride and the groom at all times, unless we're maybe on our break or something.
Yeah.
But the entire day, we're just watching the two of them, just looking at them like, what's going on over there? And if we see a nice shot, we'll take it. Or over there, we'll take it.
Yeah, I guess that does come in handy when you say that we'll never really miss a shot because there's two of us.
I won't say we would never. I don't say we would never.
We have never.
It's far
likely.
less likely.
Because at least one of us always has our eyes on the bride and groom.
Yes, we do.
And that's the most important thing. Same with quinces.
Yes, and also our cameras are always ready to go. And our cameras are fast, too.
Yeah.
We showed you guys in one of the episodes. All right, next one. This is, speaking of the last episode, fear of rejection or criticism. Sharing work, whether with clients or on social media or in expeditions.
Exhibits. Just say exhibits. That's what it means.
But that's what it is, right? That's the word.
Exhibitions. Yeah.
I said it. Opens photographers up to criticism.
No, you said expeditions.
Expeditions.
Like we're going on a journey in the safari.
Yeah. Oops.
It's okay.
Museums. Opens photographers up to criticism. The fear of negative feedback or rejection can be significant, particularly for those who are just starting out. If you want to know how we feel on rejection, go and look back at our last episode, which I think it's episode 21.
Can I just speak on this really quick?
Go for it.
I don't think, tell me if you feel differently. I don't think I really have a fear of the social media part of it. Just because we've never gotten any like negative feedback on things that we post on social media. We have got family members of mine telling us we spelled something wrong on social media.
That's not criticism. That's
not criticism.
Them
That's
trying to help.
help.
Yeah.
It's usually my Aunt Brittany.
Thank you.
Or my mom.
Thank you.
The social media part, no, I don't think so. I would say the scariest part personally for me, and I think Vincent as well, is when we finish. Sorry, there was a hair. Is when we finish like a really big wedding that we feel super passionately about, and we've been working like day in and day out for weeks, months on the wedding. And it's that time period where you send it out and you don't hear back from the bride or groom yet, where we're like, our phone buzzes and we're like,
what's going on?
Or sometimes like I will literally like throw my phone and be like, I don't want to know. Like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to know.
I do though.
And Vincent's the opposite.
I always look.
But I get so like, we're very hard on ourselves because it's just how we are. So I get so panicked and I'll start going through the gallery like over and over and over again, thinking like seeing if we missed anything. So I think that part's the scariest because people are always happy, but Knock on wood.
I already did.
But you just never know. So I think that's really what it is. But the social media aspect of it, not as much.
I
for
know that
me.
people can be extremely
Critical?
critical on social media because they're not in front of you. So I feel like if it's going to happen to you, that's the higher chance of where it's going to happen. Rejection, we talked about it. It's going to happen to everybody at some point in your career. Don't let it get to you. If anything, use it as motivation to do better. Okay? That's really all I have to say about
Yeah.
it.
I mean, it happens.
Yes. All right. Next one.
Fear of creative block. Ooh, I've had this. Photographers might fear running out of ideas or struggling to find inspiration, leading to a creative block. This can particularly be daunting in a competitive industry where constant innovation is key. Trust me, we've had this. It's normal. It's okay.
Let me tell you something. I'm sorry. Let me tell you something. If you're a videographer, this is going to happen to you. And it's far worse. I hate to say it. It's far worse than any photographer will go through.
I believe it.
By far.
I usually argue on things like this. I'm not arguing on.
No. Because with a wedding film or a quince film or any film that you make whatsoever, you have to design the complete film by yourself. You
also have to design like the feel of it,
Right.
what it gives off, what emotion
Right.
are you trying
Right.
to tell, the music of it. I could
Right.
not.
You're trying to explain the love of two people who you barely know.
In some cases.
In most cases,
Yeah.
you barely know these people, and you're
trying to get their personality
right,
and their
to
love
come through the screen and stuff. So if you're a videographer, it's going to happen to you a lot. There's no template online. There's no software. You just download it and say, "Make me a wedding film," and then make the wedding film. It doesn't happen. And even if it did happen,
It wouldn't be good.
who would want that?
No.
The AI doesn't know anything about who the couple is or what they want or the kind of music they like or the edit style or the colors or anything whatsoever.
I would like to add to this that, we've gotten it before where they're like, so for example, if they see a package that's like a 4 to 5 minute long film and they're like, oh, it's like only 4 to 5 minutes. And I look at them like, I don't think that even
No.
I think though, we don't really think about the perception of time and how much can go into 5 minutes. Like how many things and how long it takes to fill that 5 minutes and make it like good quality. Like it's a lot. I could never do what Vincent does. He is so beautiful in just in looks too, but he is so beautiful with how he portrays the feeling. And I'll watch it, and obviously I know who the bride and groom are because we worked that wedding together, and I'll be like, this just fits them. It fits their personality. It fits the vibe of the day. And I've seen wedding videos where I'm like, okay, I didn't really feel anything from it. I cry 9 times out of 10 with all of his wedding videos because he just is he's a storyteller. That's really what you are.
That's what
That's really what your job
That's
description
really what
is.
both of us are. We're both storytellers.
This isn't about me right now.
No, but you
Kidding.
tell it through a still image, a snapshot in time. And we talked about it in a previous episode that wedding films are just the play button to the photos to allow people who weren't there or want to relive it to experience the energy of what was going on in that specific moment.
And that's why it's so beautiful that we do this together.
Right, 100%. We'll have to do an episode where we really show you what goes into it. It's not easy. It's not something that someone could just go onto the computer one day and go, I'm going to make a wedding film. It's not how it goes at all. There's so much that goes into it, from preparing to shooting to editing to delivering. It's a long process, and that's why we have it in our contract that we're allotted a certain amount of time, though, because it does take a long time to do it. But we can promise for any of our couples that it's worth it.
What I would say regarding photography, I feel like our job really pushes us to continue to be innovative and upgrade and to make our work the best it can be. And I feel like I've personally had moments where I'm editing and I know that there's a certain look or a certain feel that I want the photos to portray. And I know what it looks like. And in my head, I know the steps on how to get it there. But say we're working for 12 hours that day, or we've had like the busiest weekend. Sometimes I just can't get there. And so I'll have to turn my computer off, get out of the office for the rest of the day, or even for like an hour or two, and then come back in with a fresh mind, like clear mind, and try again. And normally it works.
Important. It is very important to step away.
Yeah.
If you do have a creative block, step away. It'll come back to you later on. Smooth sailing from there.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Fear of falling behind technology. With rapid advancements in camera technology, editing software, and digital platforms, photographers may fear being left behind or not staying current with the latest tools and trends. I promise you, without a doubt whatsoever, we are very much up to date. If anything, we're the most updated you'll probably come into contact with, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Sorry to think
With
about
anything,
all of our stuff that we
when
have.
it comes to editing, when it comes to our gear that we use, our techniques, everything is always being upgraded. We upgrade a lot.
That being said, I don't think we'll upgrade our cameras for a few years because we have the best right now, and it's been they're perfect for what we do.
We're
upgraded.
always
Trust me, we're upgraded.
Part of our job is for us to stay up to date on the latest trends, the latest technology, and just what maybe some other brides or grooms, what they want. We're always up to date. So, like right now, we're this up to date. Ready? We know we've been using the word demure. Demure?
Demure.
Demure?
Demure.
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 I don't know. That's how up to date we are. We know all those.
Yeah, because it's not just like equipment that we've bought, but like just trends and things like that. Not saying everyone needs to be a trendy photographer. I don't feel like we are. I'm talking like social media trends that we need to put online so that we can get more traction and talk to our, like get our clients to get to know us better. That's what I meant by that. Sorry. I just wanted to correct that. That being said, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Every time something new comes out, Vincent cries about it for about 24 hours. Watches every single video that's ever come out about it. Really just, sometimes he's like, meh, we don't need it. And then other times he's like, let me just give you a PowerPoint presentation without actually doing that on why we need this product. Hence our Live 360 camera that we just got.
Insta.
She
keeps calling it the Life 360. This is not a tracking thing.
Yeah, Brittany's always used to this.
It's
Insta 360 camera that Vincent just had to have, which I actually really do like that purchase. Vincent is always checking out what's coming out if we need it, weighing our pros and cons. And so it's normal if you do that.
And if you're a photographer, if you're a videographer, if you're a business owner and you're not doing it, you're doing it wrong. Simple as that. You have to stay up to date with everything. You have to.
Yeah.
Have to. If not, you will get left behind.
Sorry.
Okay,
fear of safety. We felt this too. For photographers who shoot in challenging or remote locations, personal safety can be a significant concern. This includes everything from wildlife encounters to dangerous weather conditions, or I'm just going to add this, or people.
Yeah. Let's see. What have we experienced? We've had wildlife one time.
Coyotes.
We had a coyote, and it was for like a little baby shoot, and that was pretty dangerous. But
oh my god! It like ran across the grass. I forgot about that. We've also had.
Don't worry though. If a coyote ever runs at us, we'll take care of him.
Yeah,
we got you.
We've had just people giving us very weird vibes if we're shooting out in public, like in downtown areas. But we're always on the lookout for that. The protection of our clients comes first. our equipment comes second
Well, I'll tell you
or
what.
third?
So what she's referring to is one time we were in a downtown area.
Mm-hmm.
We won't say where. And we had just gotten done with a shoot. So it was Reese, our client, and I.
And just to
And-
say, the client was a mom and her small child.
Small child was not there.
She was in the car.
Was she?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, forgot. And so Reese was talking to the client. I was packing up the car. And I just look up real quick just to check on Reese, make sure everything's all good. And out of the corner of my eye, I see somebody walking. And it's like middle of the day. And so normally you wouldn't see anybody walking where we specifically were. And he made eye contact directly at me. And then he stopped and he looked around. And I was like, uh-oh. Like, we're going to have a problem right now. And then he looked at me again. And I swear I read his mind. Like, he sent me a message and said, I'm going to walk by, but if I see you, I'm gonna walk by again. But if I see you again, then there will be a situation. Ever since then, we've changed where we have parked in that downtown area, and we've made sure that not only are we safe, but our clients are safe too. We never want to put them in a situation where it could be dangerous. Also, our cameras are our lives. That's our livelihood. And so we want to make sure that we protect that as well. Obviously, us and the clients come first. The baby comes
That's
first
not
if
what I
there's
just
a baby. But
I said the clients come first, our cameras come second, and we come third.
no, cameras are third. First, yeah. But yeah, you always want to make sure that you are safe. You don't want to ever get yourself in a situation where you don't know what the outcome is going to be.
Mm-mm.
You know, always be safe. Always be mindful. I know you're thinking about that Demore thing or whatever it's called. All right, let's see.
I'm sorry. I just want to add to that really quickly. We also did a wedding in Vegas, on the main road with small children that were
No.
present.
No.
And that is a fear of safety too, because we felt like we couldn't fully do our jobs. They're also our family members. So let's just add that in. We felt like we couldn't really truly just focus on what we were doing because we were so worried about the surroundings and making sure those kids were okay and inside this gate that we were in. So that being said, you know, if you're shooting on the side of a road somewhere or, you know, just be mindful.
Yeah.
Be mindful.
All right, the next one.
Fear of not standing out. In a saturated market, the fear of blending in or not being unique enough to attract attention can be a major source of anxiety for photographers looking to make a name for themselves. Absolutely.
The photography market is extremely
Saturated.
saturated. I'll tell you what, anytime I've ever told somebody that I'm a wedding photographer or videographer or whatever, they always go, "Oh, I'm a photographer too." And
It's happened a lot.
I swear to you, probably 8 times out of 10, that's people say, "Oh, I was a photographer before." And it's like,
Or even we've had like clients where like husbands or like the wives would be like, "Oh yeah, I got a camera."
it's like it's different. It's different though. It's not the same. It's completely different. This is our lives. This is what we have invested now 3 years of our life professionally. And we've invested tens of thousands of dollars into this.
It's the look on people's faces when we tell them we're full time.
It's always so interesting. Everybody is so like amazed when we tell them that we're full time. Just worked with a photographer, and she was
so
awesome.
fun.
Yeah, she was awesome, and she does it part time.
Mm-hmm.
And we told her that we were full time, and she asked how old we were, and we said that we were 25. She's 30,
She said we were mid-20s.
mid-20s. Yeah, well, that's true.
I haven't been saying that.
And she goes, "Do you guys do this full time or part time?" We said, "No, we're full time. Like
This
this
is
is
it."
our baby." And she asked, "Are you guys married?" And we were honest with her. We said, "Really, right now our main focus is this business. This business is our baby. It needs our attention 24 hours a day, 365
As you could see with the
days.
phone call in the middle of what we're doing.
365 days a year. And if we're not there, you know, for the business, and the business fails, and then we fail.
And then in the future, we have nothing to provide for our child.
Right.
So
And so right now, while we're still young, we are investing in ourselves via the business. And you have to stand out. And going back to the other one about trends, is that what it is? Fear of falling behind, not falling behind. What was it?
Creative block.
Creative block. Running out of ideas, things. Anyway, fear of falling behind. I'm gonna do that one. I can't find whatever the stupid one was, but falling behind. Nobody's gonna want to book with us. Nobody's gonna want to look at our Instagram, our YouTube, our Facebook, or any of those if we're just posting pictures. Okay, I see a lot of people all the time, and they just post pictures. Sorry for I completely lost my spot a second ago, but they just post pictures, and they wonder why they're like, I wonder why people aren't booking with me. Well, it's because people don't know who you are. Post yourself. Stay up to trends. Do funny stuff. Be relatable. Because anybody can just take those photos off of Pinterest, off of somebody else's Instagram, and post them onto their Instagram. Okay? And you wouldn't know. But
that's a really good point, because we've had brides saying, like, they were apprehensive about sending deposits or certain things because they're like, how do I know you're a real person? And we literally told them, do you have Instagram? You can go on our Instagram. We post ourselves. We post,
we post on our
things
stories
that
every
we're
single
doing.
day.
We really want our clients to get to know us because they want to be able to put a face to the name. We feel so strongly behind that. Also putting a personality behind the people that you're trusting to do your wedding or your quince, things of that nature. So you kind of get to know us a little bit. Also the podcast.
Yeah.
We're not saying everyone needs to do a podcast.
But that's one of the reasons that we
lot.
did start a podcast, the OSNAP
so you can
podcast.
see how fun we are.
We started it so that if, say, brides or grooms, if they were maybe a little hesitant because they do send a good amount of cash our way and they've never met us before, they can come on here.
Mhm.
They can literally know exactly who we
everything
are.
about us.
Yeah, they can know exactly who we are. But
yeah,
you have to do your best to stand out. And like I was saying, with social media and anything like that, you have to make sure that you're not only posting yourself, but you're posting your work as well. But you're also relatable too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And post reels and TikToks. People really enjoy those a lot. And it gets you in front of more people.
It is a lot of fun if you are a duo or you have like a team to do them together. Like, it's a fun bonding experience for us. This summer, not so much. We haven't done as many because it's too hot outside and this girl gets miserable pretty quick in the heat. But it's fun for us. We like to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last one.
All right. Last one. Fear of not connecting. The fear of not connecting with a client is a significant concern for many photographers, particularly those who work closely with people such as portraits, weddings, commercial photographers, etc.
This one was actually, I told Vincent we needed to add this one in because it wasn't really a fear of mine, just because I feel like we have connected pretty much with every client we've ever had. But we did see it at a wedding where a vendor did not connect with the bride, and it was hard on them. They had been in the business a long time. They said that this has never happened before, and they just weren't getting to the same page. And that's sad for both, the bride, because it is her wedding day. You want her to be stress-free. But it's also really sad for the professional that was working and just trying their best to make it work. We are people, and people do not connect with everybody. Maybe you don't have the same, the same personality or the same,
you just don't click.
You don't mesh. You don't click. It does happen. After that specific wedding, I feel like I think about it a little bit more now. But I feel like a lot of our brides, we talk to all of our brides and grooms, our quince clients. We talk to them on the phone prior. So you kind of know whether or not your personalities are going to match before they hire you. It is a very prevalent thing though. A lot of people do stress out about it. I mean, I'm a part of a couple of Reddit groups just so that I can kind of just see what's going on, see other experiences so that we're prepared for everything. And it has happened.
To be honest with you, I have never worried about connecting with any of our clients whatsoever. And I only say that because I would say 99.999%, if not 100% of the time, we always click with our clients. because we're behind the camera. A lot of times this is their first time in front of the camera. And
Oh.
so we kind of have to break the ice and make sure that they're comfortable and stuff. And so maybe they'll reveal some interesting facts about them, and then we can reveal some about ourselves. And then that's how we get closer. And that's really how we break the ice.
We actually had a client that we didn't think meshed with us very well. Like, we didn't think they liked us very well. It was the Christmas minis. I think you know what I'm talking about. And we were like really confused and upset about it for like a hot minute. But then they ended up booking us like a couple months later for something else, and we're like, okay, maybe it's just off day, or maybe we were thinking too much into it, or we had 8 shoots that day. So, you know, and they ended up booking with us, and they're great. And it was never we don't think that we meshed well with them. We thought that they didn't particularly like love us. Based off of our first meeting, we also only have 30 minutes for Christmas minis, so it like goes by really quickly. But they ended up booking with us, and we're like, okay, it was all in our head.
Yeah.
So it happens. Also, just try not to think too much into it, because it will drive you crazy.
I think the best way that I try to think about it is that there's a possibility that we might not mesh because there's 2 of them. We might not mesh with one of them. One of them might be extremely stressed out. Maybe they have anxiety about.
You're talking specifically for weddings, right?
This one's about weddings. Yeah. If it is a wedding, and one of them most definitely will be stressed out. And so we might have a harder time to get a connection with the bride
Or the groom.
But there's that other one. So if, say, the bride was a little stressed out, so we couldn't really form a connection, but the groom, he's chilling. He's chilling with all his guy friends or his groomsmen and drinking beer and stuff. We can go and connect with him. And then through him, we can connect with her, you know? I've never had a fear of that whatsoever because there is 2 of them. Now, say if it was like a single person, which that wouldn't happen at a wedding.
Quince.
A quince is different. We were just talking about weddings.
Teenagers, so you never really know what you're going to get with a quince.
But what I find out is that we still mesh well. Like, we mesh well with people who are in their 50s, but yet we're still able to mesh well with people who are 15. You know, like, we have a wide range of people who we can connect with and make them feel comfortable.
Absolutely. We really do get along with teenagers pretty well.
We do, because we're back to it, but we're up to date on what's going on. And so when they say like a funny joke, we know exactly what they're talking about. What?
We once had a senior session, okay? It was a grad session, and Vincent was trying, like, we always try to like relate to teenagers. We like, you know, want them to like be comfortable with us. And Vincent said this like TikTok trend out loud.
What is?
Remember, it was at beach session, and she looked at you like weird, and you're like, "Do you know what I'm talking about?" And she's like, "No."
What was it? What was the joke?
It's like a song or something.
Now I want to know.
I don't remember specifically what it was. We could talk about it off camera, but you said the thing, and she just like looked at us weird, and you're like, "You know, on TikTok," and she was like, "No." But, like, we only did that because we did her prom photos, too. And they were literally doing, like, TikTok, like, videos while they were doing, like, the prom photos. So we just, you know, assumed they're, like, up to date on TikTok. And this was, like, a trend on TikTok. And so Vincent said something.
I mean, look, it happens. All right.
But in your defense, yesterday we were at my family's house for my dad's birthday. And we were in... No, you weren't in there. I was in my goddaughter's room, and I said, "That's very demure." Okay, that's like huge right now. And she looked at me weird too. And I was like, okay.
It happens. So, I mean, exactly
we normally do great with
what
teenagers.
I said is that we don't fall behind. If anything, we're more advanced than anybody that you've ever met. And sometimes that comes with jokes or certain sayings as well. We work. But like I was saying, part of our job description is being on social media. And so we do have to stay up with all the trends. And then sometimes those trends are jokes, and those jokes come out sometimes.
I'm trying to think about what it was.
And some people just are not up to date. But I would just, don't worry about it. If you are a photographer, if you're a videographer, don't worry about not connecting with somebody. Just make sure that your guys' communication is good, and make sure that you have a schedule written out. So when you go the day of, you don't really have to, like, say, if you don't have a connection, then you don't really have to bother them too much, because you already know what's going to go on. You don't have to ask too many questions, and then you can kind of avoid that awkward, you know, conversation or whatever.
I think the best piece of advice we could give, because I feel like this is what we do every wedding specifically and shoots, go in there confident like you are best friends with them. Go in there like, hey, congratulations, and just work it out like you've known them forever. Don't go in there with the fear of not connecting. Go in there like you have already had the best connection with them. That's what we do.
Another thing too, and it might be easier for videographers, but it's kind of difficult for videographers to have no connection with the client, because if we're doing, say, like a wedding, I have to mic them up. So I got to get really close to them. So I normally will put it about right around here, and then I have to, if they don't have a jacket pocket, then I'll put it in their back pocket. But like something easy like that already breaks the ice, you know? So it might be a little bit easier for videographers, maybe a little more tough for photographers, but we do it both. I think we got it in the bag.
But at the same time, we both if we do the kissing under the veil shot, there's literally there's four of us under that veil. You guys are kissing and we're right here in front of you guys under a veil with you. Every time we do it, we literally get in the veil and we're like, hey guys, how's it going? Like,
take a little tint.
How's it happening today?
Yeah.
So just go in there confident. 99.99% of the time, your bride and groom are going to love you.
You got this. Don't stress out about it. You're good to go.
Yeah. We're pretty calm.
All right. So out of all of these, what would you say the most important is? Or what is the biggest fear that you have out of these?
Of my personal fear?
Yes.
Fear of equipment failure. That would probably be mine. Okay, because listen to me. I don't. Maybe fear of criticism. That could be it too. I would say those are my two. One, because fear of missing the shot. I'm pretty good with it. I'm quick. I mean, I've got tiny legs, but I can run.
I got tiny legs and a frozen margarita.
Me. And a Diet Coke. Falling behind technology. I don't worry about that. Because we're pretty good with that. Fear of safety. I've got you. Fear of not standing out. I don't really think about that too much. I mean, I think every photographer has issues with that, and then fear of not connecting, we're pretty good with people. So I would probably say equipment failure or rejection or criticism, because I know that does affect me more than I want it to.
All right, I'll go through them. Fear of equipment? No, I don't fear that, because we're always good with our equipment, and we treat our equipment like it is, with the most absolute respect, and make sure that it is okay, and our SD cards are healthy and everything's good. I don't have a fear of that. And I may always make sure that they're clean and stuff. Fear of missing the shot? Never. There's two of us. We'll get it. Fear of rejection or criticism? No. Everybody has an opinion and they're entitled to it, but it doesn't mean that it's fact. Fear of creative block? I wouldn't say that's the biggest fear. It's definitely on there, but we definitely always get through it. Fear of falling behind technology? No, because I know it won't happen, because we're always up to date on everything. Fear of safety? Nope, we're pretty safe. We have some things that we can use for protection. And then the next one, fear of not connecting. We just talked about that. Don't worry about it. I would say mine is fear of not standing out. We want to stand out because of the amount of photographers that there are in a city like ours. I mean, we're surrounded by hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah, there's going to be other photographers, and somebody's going to pick the one that stands out the most to them. People have different opinions on what they specifically want, and hopefully we can be within their taste, and that they can book with us. But doing stuff like social media and posting about us and posting reels can hopefully allow people to either relate to us or want it for themselves, and then they will book with us. So I would say not standing out, but we definitely try our hardest to stand out.
I think we do a really good job of it, honestly.
We do a darn good job, yeah.
Yeah.
We try. I mean, that's really all you could do, is just try.
Yeah.
You know?
I think so.
So I think that's really it.
Next week's episode is Reese's birthday.
Yes, on Reese's birthday, we're going to Disneyland. So we'll definitely have a lot of fun videos and stuff to share with you guys.
I'm so excited to eat pretzels.
A lot of cool food and rides. Hopefully, if they're open.
They are.
And hopefully it'll stay nice and cool. It won't be too hot.
88 degrees. I've already checked.
All right. See, there you go. Not bad. Not bad.
I'm prepared.
Good. Anyway, anything else you want to add?
I'm trying to think if there's any like last minute fears I have.
Oh, I would say this: a fear of dropping our equipment. That's a fear. A fear of I've seen it happen before where photographer or fear of let me tell you this one: fear of falling during the ceremony at the final kiss.
That would be something I would do.
I've seen videos where the bride and the groom are walking back down the aisle after just saying "I do," and the photographer or videographer are walking backwards, and the videographer falls into a pond.
We've walked backwards a lot in our job. We've never tripped.
No, we normally do a pretty good job at making sure that we don't fall. I don't believe that we've really fallen before. No, I don't think we've really fallen. We're normally pretty careful.
You tripped on the umbrella.
Oh, yeah.
And broke it.
Yeah. I'll put that clip in right now.
Do you have that clip?
I have that clip. I have that clip of me falling. Ouch. I
Personally,
didn't actually fall that you saw.
I've never fallen.
No.
Which is shocking.
I
would say.
But like dropping our cameras too. Or lens.
I've smacked my lens.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Against things.
If like I was saying in the very beginning, if you do drop your camera or your lens, make sure you do get it checked out by a professional, so that when you go to your next event, your Zoom isn't working or something, you know.
I found that also because I am very clumsy. I found that if I do fall in our regular day life, usually the things that are important, like if I have a cup in my hand, like with a drink or my phone, I tend to I don't know what it is in our brain. It's just like an instinct.
To let go?
No, I will fall and have my phone like this in a pool or anything. Like I got pushed in a pool.
Oh, I would definitely.
Oh, we went to the pool for Father's Day and our sweet, precious nephew Ryder pushed me in the pool. Mind you, he's 3. Okay. He came up behind me and pushed me in the pool and I had my phone in my hand. And when I fell in that pool, my phone was like this, like straight up in the air. So I feel like if I do fall one day, I will save the camera rather than my body.
I've definitely come to the conclusion, the wedding that we just did at the winery, when we were taking the photos up by the house, there was a pool. And I had to go on the other side of the fence,
Shocked that you did that.
which where the pool was at, so I can get a beautiful shot. And I was walking backwards and I was thinking, I'm like, all right, if I fall into the pool, I will have to throw the stabilizer with the camera because there's no way that I'm just gonna let that all fall into the
You'd
pool.
have better luck throwing that than letting it get in the water.
Oh,
You'd
yeah.
rather throw it.
Oh, I'd
and just pray for
much
the
rather
best.
throw it because I know that if that stabilizer touches that water, boom, it's gone.
It's done.
The camera, we gotta make sure that the SD cards are safe. That's our main priority, is the SD cards, because that has the most important videos on it and
Yeah.
photos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, so then we'll add to that. So I got 2: falling during an important shot, like a ceremony, and fear of not standing out.
Yeah, I think those are pretty good.
And then
Fear of not having enough Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Big one for me.
Yeah.
You want to know how I edit? Diet Coke in hand. Always.
Yeah.
Always. I only have one left in my fridge right now, and I'm going to try to finish a wedding today, so we'll see.
Still editing a wedding. That's another update. And hopefully by the next time we post a podcast episode, it'll be done.
It will be done.
It will be done, but hopefully we'll have it posted by then.
It will be posted.
So if you are still here, we greatly appreciate it. We know it's been kind of a longish episode.
You guys got on a phone call with us today.
Got a phone call. So congratulations to that. If you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do that, and make sure you hit the notification bell to get notified anytime we upload a new video. If you're not already following us on Instagram, go ahead and do that. We're also on Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, and Spotify. So make sure you follow us on all of those, including Spotify, and hit the notification bell so that on your car ride to work or you're out with a family, instead of listening to music, maybe you want to listen to our podcast.
And if you haven't checked out our new website yet, please go do that at snappduo.com.
And if you want to get in contact with us, go onto the bio sites. The link on our Instagram. You can go to our website. You can go to any social media platform with just one click of a button. If you don't want to do that and you're just on our Instagram, send us a DM and we'll get in contact with you and we'll get you all booked up and ready to go and good for your big day. So with that,
Thank you.
we thank you. We love you.
We love you.
And we will see you next week.
For my birthday.
Bye.
Bye. Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
Bye.
Bye.